Hey guys, gals, and pals, Mr. Obvious here. And today, we need to talk about the Sri Lanka Revolution. After Sri Lankan protesters stormed the capital, and the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka resigns in disgrace. We're also going to talk about how left-wing activists from ShutDownDC are offering bounties to get intel on the location of SCOTUS judges, essentially asking for a hit list, essentially calling for doxing of the Supreme Court. And in other news, Twitter employees are having an absolute meltdown, saying that Elon Musk has effing destroyed the company.
No.
After Elon Musk terminated his deal to buy Twitter. But we're going to talk about that, folks, and more. But before we do, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for updates for future content. If you like this video, please share it with your family and friends and online. And now, a word from our sponsor. Folks, let's talk about Webull. Right now, you're seeing some of the lowest stock prices in US history. Netflix is down 70%. There's never been a better time to get into investing. Introducing Webull. Webull is a trading app where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency and stocks. Join Webull today, fund your account with a few bucks, and you get 6 free stocks. Now, these stocks are guaranteed to be worth money and could be worth up to $9,000. It's a little bit of a lottery, but you're gonna get free stocks. It's gonna teach you about investing, and best of all, there is no downside. Click the affiliate link down below and join Webull today. And we're back. All right, folks, let's talk about Sri Lanka. After months of political turmoil, food shortages, the people of Sri Lanka have had enough. We've been seeing a lot of protests around the world. Dutch farmers come to mind. There has been massive protests amongst Dutch farmers because the government was trying to tell them to grow less food because they were trying to stop climate change and reduce nitrates. So they said, farmers, you know what? Stop growing food. We don't care that there's a food shortage and that people are starving and that you need to grow food to make a living. So what did the Dutch farmers do? They started protesting en masse. Oh man, things are getting crazy, my friends. There was this viral footage of a Dutch farmer taking a tractor and dragging a police car on a cable. And you could see the police car trying to speed away. And the tractor's just like, nope, you're getting off the damn road. This is our protest. This is our moment. Incredible stuff. And this is why we need to talk about the Sri Lanka protest, because a lot of people are not. Here on Vox, protests force Sri Lanka's leaders to resign. Entrenched corruption and a political dynasty may keep them in power, though. Here the story says, Sri Lanka's ongoing political and economic crisis once again reached a fever pitch as thousands of protesters gathered on Saturday and stormed some of the president's house and offices. Sri Lanka's president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has apparently agreed to step down July 13th, although he has not personally confirmed the announcement made by Speaker of Parliament, as he is reportedly in hiding. Following the speaker's announcement, protesters also set fire to Prime Minister Wickremesinghe's residence, who also stated that he was resigning just months after the job. So, why are we talking about this? Well, there's a lot of parallels to what's happening in Sri Lanka, to what's happening amongst the Dutch farmers, to what's happening in America. Here it says that Rajapaksa has been elected in 2019. The nation's conditions have deteriorated under his leadership, including critical shortages of basic necessities like fuel, medicine, and food-ignited protests, which have apparently toppled his administration. There's some important things I want to highlight about this story. One, doesn't that kind of sound like Biden and the United States and how we have food shortages, fuel shortages, job losses, supply chain issues? Like, it sounds very similar. And then you think about the fact that leaders like Biden just sold 1 million barrels, I believe, of oil to China in a time that America is suffering, needs food, needs oil, needs supplies. What is the Biden administration doing? They are selling us out to foreign powers for money. So Biden is giving away our oil reserves when we need them, and it's just the same thing. political corruption and these incompetent leaders who sell out their own people to make a quick buck. And you know what's the most amazing thing about this story? Here we are on Twitter with the New York Times. They say, breaking news. Protesters in Sri Lanka entered the president's home as thousands descended on the capital amid fury over a devastating economic crisis. All of these mainstream media outlets are painting this insurrection as a good thing. Well, hold the phone for a minute. Did they respond the same way to the presidential election in 2020? When Americans stormed the White House because they had concerns that they were under a corrupt leadership, a corrupt politician, a corrupt political system and party. See, you'll notice that not a lot of media outlets are talking about the uprising in Sri Lanka, and they're not calling it an insurrection. Isn't that amazing? When it happens in Sri Lanka, it's a inspiring revolution. When it happens in America, it's a deadly insurrection, or so the story goes. I want to show you the following story. Here on the Daily Mail, fury as left-wing activists shut down DC, offer $200 bounties for intel on locations of SCOTUS judges who overturned Roe v. Wade after targeting Brett Kavanaugh during a steakhouse dinner. So for those of you who don't know, Brett Kavanaugh recently had to be evacuated from a restaurant because left-wing protesters were coming in, harassing him, and trying to harm him. Here the story says, a left-wing activist group is encouraging users on social media to tweet the location of any of the conservative Supreme Court justices in exchange for money. Notice how they only want the conservatives? The justices were the majority who voted to overturn the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade decision last month. Since then, pro-abortion activists have repeatedly protested outside the justices' homes, and in some cases confronted them in public. Here's the amazing part. ShutDownDC was organizing all of this on Twitter. Here you can see in the following screenshot. ShutDownDC says, DC service industry workers, if you see Kavanaugh, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, Coney Barrett, or Roberts, DM us with the details. We'll Venmo you $50 for a confirmed sighting and $200 if they're still there 30 minutes after your message. This is in response to a tweet by Daniel Lippman saying how Justice Brett Kavanaugh had to exit through the rear of a restaurant on Wednesday night after DC protesters showed up to the front. Twitter so far has been completely silent on whether the bounties may contravene the social media platform's rules and policies. Twitter forbids users from encouraging others to harass an individual or group of people. They say that, quote, we prohibit behavior that encourages others to harass or target specific individuals or groups with abusive behavior. Okay. So this is actually a big part of today's discussion, today's story. Twitter is allowing left-wing extremist groups like ShutDownDC to be on Twitter. Meanwhile, if you're a conservative or even a libertarian, you get banned. Which brings us to the final story of the day. Here we are on Twitter with the Daily Mail. The purge is coming. Twitter explodes after Elon Musk tanks $44 billion deal. So the story goes that Elon Musk canceled his $44 billion deal to purchase Twitter. The reason for this was simple. Twitter has been exposed for lying about the sheer number of bot accounts on the platform. Twitter claims that less than 5% of all users are bots. However, studies have shown that basically half the website is bots. It's fake accounts with fake likes and fake followers, which is a really, really big deal because it means that Twitter has been lying to investors, lying to Elon Musk, and is in deep, deep trouble. Twitter put out an announcement that it was going to sue Elon Musk over the termination of the buyout deal and essentially force him to buy Twitter. Let me tell you why this is a massive mistake by Twitter. If Twitter sues Elon Musk, they gotta go to court. If they go to court, they gotta go to discovery. If they go to discovery, that means that Twitter will be forced to expose the fact that the site is filled with bots and that they lied to investors, they lied to Elon Musk, and that their website is basically fake baloney. And it's gonna be Twitter who's gonna have to pay billions of dollars in fines and fees. And this will absolutely destroy the company. In fact, Twitter employees are absolutely losing their minds. Here on the Daily Mail, Twitter orders staff to stop talking about Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover because it is an, quote, ongoing legal matter. As woke workers say, quote, he's effing destroyed the company after terminating the deal. Elon Musk has destroyed Twitter. And I don't even mean this as an expression. I mean, he's literally destroyed the company. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is this. Twitter is over. It is no longer a platform for free speech. Many of the people who have been banned unfairly will never get their original accounts back, okay? They will never be allowed to tweet. They'll ban conservatives. And as it is right now, basically, Twitter is just going to be a left-wing echo chamber. The people running Twitter are running that company into the ground. If I was an investor, I would be pissed. After Twitter announced his canceling of the deal, the Twitter stock plummeted like 5%. And I think that's just the start, my friends, because I wouldn't be surprised if the Twitter stock collapses completely and just goes straight into the ground. And imagine, if you will, if after the dust settles and the Twitter stock collapses and Twitter is completely discredited and the investors fire all the Twitter employees, Elon Musk is like, hey, you know what? I think I will buy Twitter, but I'm going to pay you a fraction of what I offered you. $10 billion. What do you say? And the investors are going to be like, thank you, Mr. Musk. We will take that deal. Wow. Absolutely incredible. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know by commenting down below in the comment section. As always, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar, as this channel is currently supported by viewers like you. By joining, you will get access to a private Discord server, Fight Club. It's members only, so be sure to sign up. All that information is down below in the description, so check it out. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you all next time.